So I'm gonna do this the easy way. So I'm gonna CD into the project. If you're not in the project when you add a team member, you have to specify the project name. So I'm gonna do this the easy way and go into the project, which was, and then I'm going to basically run Gunnerfy users add dairy and then staging. So it just looks like that.
Again, staging being sort of like the base stage for this project.
Yep, and it's going to ask what group to add him to,
and it'll list all the groups on your root account.
What's that?
It's going to list all the groups on your root account.
So you can see here's the two groups that we created in the last steps. We want to add him to the staging admin. So we're going to just type that in, and then we're going to get an error, which is great. We were so close. Let me do some deving on. Let me do some deving on engineering on site. See what happened here. Do you remember the time when we first met? No, do you remember? Oh, I think it's.
I actually do. That was in Bristol.
Yeah, it was.
For my first interview, before I didn't. I had an interview with you guys in the community group in like March, maybe even February, and then you ghosted me like I don't know, someone you're texting with who just doesn't reply to you all of a sudden for like 6 months, and then you came back, you and Ed, and you're just like, "Hey, sorry, I've been out of touch. You want to move to LA?"
Yeah. Well, if you recall, and I don't want to throw anyone underneath the bus, but
we'll say MC.
Yeah. MC was the hiring manager, and the reason why you didn't hear back for so long is because MC bailed, and then we did decide that we were going to move to Los Angeles.
A lot of changes.
Yeah. All right.
Came in at an interesting time.
Yeah. Let me see what the problem is here. Add user.
That was a pretty fun interview, though, as far as interviews go. That's the interview where do you remember, like, or are you rolling?
I think I've got it.
Potentially.
Yeah. So so if you look, I didn't actually specify the user. You have to actually pass the user flag.
Oh, I think you forgot the U flag, right?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't type U, so that was good. It should have bombed. So then we're gonna add, what was it, 15? Yeah, 15. All right. So Dairy's been adding. So it says here they can run this command. So basically, you'd be like, "Okay, Dairy, you're all good to go," and he would run this command right here, and that would add. So basically, if I were Dairy,
should I try it real quick? We could do it on my screen.
Yeah. The problem is I'm not gonna be able to dev on site if it bombs, but yeah, we can try it.
Yeah, let's find out what happens. Why not?
Let me go over here.
Can you see mine?
Yep.
Although,
it's got Just bring it. Hit Control C a couple times. There we go. You had there's like a green bar. Oh, now it went away. No, like I wanted you to go down because like when you're at the very top, I can't see your cursor.
Oh,
there.
Like now you can?
See your cursor. Yep, now I can see your cursor.
Do I need to update the package, npm package?
Yeah.
Let me just grab that command real quick. Come on.
And make sure
while this installs, do you remember you guys, I think a limo or something from the airport? I think it was Hartford Airport.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. They drove everyone in from Hartford with a limo. I can't.
Yeah, that was like ESPN's policy back in the day. I can't imagine they do that anymore.
Oh no.
But yeah, I remember driving in the limo driver was like pointing out like the elevator factory, and he was telling me about how he drove Dick Vitale, and I was like, that's awesome. But then like after the interview, when the limo driver picked me up, I he was on like painkillers or had like just gone to a bar like the entire time I was at the interview or something, because he was like,
he had just drank Dick Vitale's blood.
Yeah, I mean, he was loopy. He was definitely not 100% together there. Like when he was pulling out of the circle, there was a circle in front of like the office building where you guys were in Bristol. He like immediately jumped the curb. Like there's a lot of space to get around the circle, and he was like driving over the center median. But like I had no idea how to play that because I didn't want to come off to you guys as somebody who was like, I don't know, weird or like hyper cautious or something.
That's so
and
funny.
Like run back into the office building and be like, my limo driver's hammered. I really don't want to get in a car with him.
So
I wrote it out, made it back to the airport. Long story short.
That's the everyone has interesting stories about like interviewing with ESPN. Like I said, which I talked about on our main show, when I'm pretty sure I got hired because of a mistake that ESPN made. And I know it clinched it. So it's kind of two stories. So like I interviewed in January and I was living in South Florida, or no, I was living in Gainesville. So I flew up there, same thing, got the limo in, but I landed in Hartford and they lost my luggage. So going from Gainesville, where it was like 70, 80 degrees in January, I was wearing like jeans and like a turtleneck. Like, it was kind of cold and sneakers. So I get there and my baggage is missing, right? So they're like, that was at night. So they're like, oh, the baggage will be there at bring a baggage to your hotel in the morning. I was like, all right. So also, ESPN never told me where to go or what time to be there. They just told me the day of the interview. And it wasn't like I didn't follow up. I tried to track down anyone. They kept being like, don't worry, we'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Yeah, right.
And like,
I mean, it's not like ESPN's a small campus either.
Right. It's huge. And so, I mean, they paid for my plane ticket. So I knew they weren't just like blowing me off. Like, all right. So they still hadn't told me, and I still couldn't get a hold of anyone the day before the interview. So I basically don't have my luggage, don't have my interview time or location. And so I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. And if I don't have a voicemail about when the interview is, I'm just going to go over there. And I was like, what's the earliest time that my interview could be? And I was like, 8 o'clock. And I was like, all right, well, just to be safe, I'm going to take an hour off that. So I'm going to get there before 7 o'clock. So I show up to the main gate at ESPN in the clothes that I flew in on the day before at 6:45 in the morning. And the guards are like, what are you talking? I mean, there's guards at every entrance. Like, what are you talking about right now? I was like, I don't know. All I know is my hiring manager's name is Jason Warham.
You look like some crazy person just wandering on the ESPN campus.
What's that?
You look like a crazy person just trying to wander on the ESPN campus.
Terrorist target, by the way. So I'm sure they were like, all right, you got to go. So I wait out. They won't even let me into the security booth. So I'm waiting in the cold. You don't need to type in an account, the account thing. You just need to type in Gunnerfy add-project prop swap -s or -s staging. Yeah,
I think I got it. Perfect.
Oh, you're not on. You're not on. You're gonna have to NVM use 12 and then reinstall the.
Yep. Oops. Every time. Every time. No. It was. Gosh dang it. Was it this?
Oh, it was Bash RC.
Bash RC, yeah.
There we go. Now you have to reinstall.
Or do I?
The package.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Anyway,
so they made me wait outside in the cold, and I guess they finally get a hold of Jason. So Jason's like, tell him to go back to the hotel and come back at 10 a.m. And he told him the right building to go to, which Jason was not. Shout out to Jason again. He wasn't responsible for the one who was giving me my time. That was supposed to come from HR, which never got back to me. So I was like, all right. I was like, well, I'm going to go back and grab a nap or whatever, and maybe my luggage will be there. So I go back, grab a nap, get up at like 9. My luggage is not still there. So I'm still in the clothes I was in the day before. So I'm like, all right, at least I know where to go on my time and everything. So anyway, I go back to where I'm supposed to do. It's a full day of interviews. So I interviewed in my stinky clothes all day long.
Yeah.
And ended up getting the job. All right. So obviously, but later on, as I was there for a while and I started to get included in the hiring process, everyone who interviews the candidate, they meet in a room and they talk about whether they should hire him or not. So this is my first time doing this. And we were all talking about what we thought. And it was actually pretty contentious. And someone was like, well, look, we never agree 100% on a candidate. Like, so we don't all have to agree to hire this person. And Jason's like, I'm going to stop you right there. Because the minute that I found out Cody was standing outside the gates of ESPN at 6:45 in the morning in a turtleneck, like, I had decided, we had all pretty much decided we were going to hire him right then.
Yeah, right. That's how you get a job. That shows dedication.
Yeah, exactly. Which that kind of like is the epitome of my career, is just like sheer force of will kind of thing.
Half of life is showing up, or 90% of life is showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Glory days. "99% of life is showing up." That's the Woody Allen quote.
99%. That's good.
Nope, 80%. It's some large number. Some not trivial number. What's the name of the company that Warren and Ed Davis work for? Star something?
Starwave.
Starwave, that was it. Wasn't that was in Seattle, right?
Yes, that was ESPN.com. I mean, Starwave became ESPN bought Starwave, which then they changed the name to ESPN.com.
Got it. Hold on to your butts.
Well, that sucks. Now the problem is, so look in your here we go again. Right? This is, let's see. You're gonna have to look in your credentials file because it didn't load the credentials.
Actually, just send along the credentials because my credentials is blank. I think maybe it's because I cleared it out. Oh, I'm it's entirely my fault. Because I didn't want to share my credentials by accident. And removed literally all of them. You can't see my credentials file, right?
No, I can't see it.
Hey now. Did this work? I can't tell.
Did what work?
This. Where did I? Oh yeah, it's working.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have got that shared INI credentials error.
I didn't. It's running from here.
Oh, okay.
I can clear that out. So basically, this is going to create a local copy for me in my local environment.
No. This is just giving you. This is pulling down the project and giving you access to the staging.
That's what I mean. A local copy of the project.
Yeah, exactly.
And the setup. So I don't know if we need to let this run for folks, but just to show them that step, I guess.
Yeah, and then so we let this.
Or we could run through the workflow, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we should actually. Yeah, we can do that. Let this run, and then we'll at least show the command again on what you would run next. And I mean, you can run it, but I don't think we need to wait for it because it's going to create another CloudFront distribution, which takes
right
20-30 minutes. This should be good though.
I wonder how many of the Starwave guys went to Amazon. Or was Amazon even in Seattle at that point?
A lot of them did. Aaron LaBerge did. He's the current CTO.
That's right. That's right.
Which I looked it up, and it's weird because ESPN doesn't even have C-level executives anymore.
Really?
Yeah, Aaron's title is like CTO of Disney something or other. So like, they changed big time. By the way, I think I figured something out about this that'll make this a little bit quicker. I think if you add your own environment first, then it will skip the redundant creation of the Amplify stack that we talked about.
It'll basically skip all this stuff.
Yeah.
I guess we could go through the workflow on another episode, maybe.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, break it up, give people a break. We could certainly do it because at the close of an iteration where it would be better.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should do that. I mean, this is a good enough walkthrough of basically the entire process to get the app set up on both your machine and like another developer's. We can show like the last command to run.
Yep.
And then call it a day. Should add links to the repo to all these. At least add it on YouTube. Should add links to the repo. Oh, I did. I already did. Except it's pointing to the wrong place.
I wonder what it's waiting on right now. Let me see.
It's not hanging, is it?
I don't think so.
Just taking its time. There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it should be npm installing. And by the way, that big error is fine.
Yeah, the error that we always get.
Yeah. It's like no jip or something.
That's right. That's exactly right. Perfect. And so the last command to run to get it set up on my machine,
which actually says it right there, to configure this
this,
project with your own environment.
This, and then the email would be prop swap dash dairy is usually like the
yep, and then dash O. Yep.
XLLC.
That would be the last one, and then you would be all set up.
Huge. Well, I think that's the perfect place to end it. Hopefully this has been useful for folks, and definitely check out the repo, possibly shortly to be renamed as Goats or something similar.
And what I was going to say is, the last thing I was going to say is, if you run this command first,
go to your screen.
No, I'm talking about your screen.
Mine.
If you run that command that you're showing there right there first, and then run the add command, I think it'll skip creating the additional resources or the redundant resource, the redundant amplify and init stuff.
So the second step would actually go a lot faster. I mean, or like the staging step would go a lot faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, hopefully this has been useful for folks, and keep an eye out for the next episode where we run through the actual workflow process as it relates to all this stuff. But that's going to do it for now. Thanks, guys.